What's up, Mortgage Coach community? I am coming live to you from, where are we? Nashville?
Vegas.
Nashville. And just finished speaking at an awesome sales rally with PRMG. Thank you, KP, for inviting me, brother.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the trip.
Yeah.
We live right by each other. We both flew out here.
I know. We're both from Newport Beach now. So KP is the Chief Lending Officer, and I am starting a new series called Turning Data into Dollars. It's going to be mostly executives and leaders that I interview in this series, but I am going to interview some loan officers, some people that I just think are thinking the right way about data. I think in the mortgage business, if we really take our database more seriously and we're making sure that we're monitoring it, we're making sure that we're managing it, we're taking actions from it, we can be in the residual income business. So first of all, KP, when I say that, do you, well, I know you believe that because you invested Boomerang, but talk about how you see data from an executive perspective.
Well, I mean, just even learning today, from the sessions we were having, it just made me think about it in even more enhanced ways. Every single thing we come across in this business in our life is, if you want to think of it in that way, is a data point, right? The time at which you called someone, that's what's most convenient to be talking to someone else. Who did you call? How did you call? There's so many pieces of data, and our brain is so complex. I mean, you talk about AI and machine learning, but the human brain is so amazing in the way it sees the world and all the data points in front of our own eyes or within our past client book, if we're going to drill down to the business, and the way we just, run that data through our mind, that prism, and then what we think about that. We sometimes come up with thoughts like in an instant, like even quicker than I could snap my finger,
Right.
Russ do the boom shake, right?
Boom.
But man, data, having accurate data, clean data, a repository for your data, a place where you can access it, a place where you can maneuver it around, watch it, shape it. I listening to you and Scott Harris, CEO of experience.com, it was really amazing just to hear everyone's take on data, and there's got to be a new, remember data is the new oil, that's kind of now.
Data is the new dollar.
Yeah, now
it's a little old.
Okay,
yeah.
I like that, right? So
it's true. Although most loan officers don't do that. They don't put enough data in their CRM. Two, most of them don't get alerts and insights. Some do, and they don't call them. And I have this thesis that most loan officers lose more loans than they close.
Oh, 100%. 100%, for sure.
And most lenders. I mean, do you agree that your biggest cost is all the loans you lose because either you didn't convert or you just didn't get the next loan?
I'll give you an example, a real life example. So for your audience, at Paramount Residential Mortgage Group, we've been around 21 years as of this week, actually.
Congratulations.
And, yeah, pretty cool. And I've been in the company 12 years, an owner for about 6.5. And I remember getting here in April of 16, and my first senior management meeting, I'm like, we have a servicing portfolio, but we're not portfolio driven. We're originator driven, right? We're built by originators for originators, but it is kind of a big asset. And we had the worst retention. If a borrower called us or if they had a payoff, then we would give that loan back to our real estate, our
loan officer,
retail originator, or if it came from our wholesale channel or correspondent channel, we'd give it back to the TPO. So we always give it back to the originator, regardless of channel. But we didn't have systems in place. We didn't have anything going on. And there was so, we knew, literally would be a report every month. We had 110 loans fall off of our portfolio and we replaced it with 80. I'm like, how dumb are we with that asset, right? And so what I love is, you guys are now working, you're the Chief Innovation Officer, overseeing both Mortgage Coach and Sales Boomerang. When we implemented Sales Boomerang, that was by far a game changer. Having data, having insights. I told Alex Kutisian and Mark all the time, it was our highest ROI. Highest ROI. I mean, our runoff of our portfolio was stupid. And now, we have a chance to win back every single loan with a piece of data. For example, credit was pulled, wasn't pulled at you. I know it happened. I know when it happened, and I got to do something about it right now. That alone was a huge piece of data. And then us monitoring that on behalf of all of our originators. And then we have people that get the email, then email the brokers or the correspondents or our retail originator and say, hey, dude, credit just got pulled and it wasn't our name on it. Like, call your bar. So that's just a perfect example of how protecting that asset, getting that ROI on data and having those insights was a game changer for our company. And now, after the pandemic, a lot of independent mortgage bankers were forced to service loans. We had a ton of cash in our reserves, and we've got 44,000 units in our portfolio, and we are watching at scale, not just our portfolio, but about 610,000 records of all past loans, past clients, turn downs, current prospects. We even do it on behalf of our TPO clients. It's amazing. Just that little piece alone was a game changer as it came to turning data into dollars.
I like it. So I want to show a couple things and get your thoughts on this, because one thing, as I'm interviewing loan officers that are doing a really good job of this, is they've really expanded the different places. And you talked about past clients, portfolio. We're seeing more and more loan officers adopting databases from realtors. I love what you're doing. What's the new platform? Wisp?
Wisp, yeah.
I call that a data multiplier, where it's very cool.
It's right there.
Mobile call to action. I would give it the wrong slides, but it's a mobile call to action. You'll be hearing more about this. But what are your?
It's like a two-way QR code or banner.
Yeah, but
it's just instant, like a piece of data. Like, someone's looking at my piece of content and they're pressing the banner or scanning the QR code. They're looking at it right now, and they want to be contacted via text. And then you start texting them back and forth. That's super powerful.
It's incredible. Any leadership you want to give to loan officers or lenders as it pertains to building databases? And then I want to ask some specific questions on things you said on stage.
Yeah, well, gosh, I could just, I could talk about just the stuff I heard today from Scott Harris and how he approached this. He starting with be a data czar is what he said. It was pretty cool. He farmed out some tasks to Upwork. For those of you that have used Upwork before, you can get someone to help clean your data, organize your data, rip out duplicates, check for accuracy, scrubbing against public records, whatever the case may be. So getting clean data and accurate data is super important. Putting it in a CRM. One of the funny jokes, Mike Fisher's online. He's got his LO network, and there's always a joke like, "What's the best CRM?" It's like, oh my God, here's that question again. It's the one you use, right?
Right.
And so you got to find one that works for you. We just happen to use Total Expert, but there are so many. But if you've got garbage in, garbage out, you've got bad data. If your data's not clean, what good is your CRM sending out, content and pieces of information, to inaccurate email addresses, or you got the wife's name instead of, your borrower's name, who was the husband, or maybe you have the name spelled wrong. There's so many different things that can make you look like a dummy. But yeah, we're big fans of empowering ourselves with enriched, clean data.
Yeah, let's go through this. This is a slide I shared on stage yesterday. I believe I went through this. And this is our vision on the borrower intelligence platform. This is a category that we're creating with Mortgage Coach and Boomerang. And our philosophy is there's a lot of different places where you ingest data. And I'd put Wisp as another place to ingest data. And most loan officers and lenders have dozens of places where they're ingesting data. And then they need to unify it. They need to enrich that data. They need to, credit, equity, life events. How do you enrich that data? Then how do you decide and act on that data? Here's the challenge, guys. Most CRMs don't do a great job. And it's no one CRM. You've got to look at multiple data. And then it's how do you engage? Now, one of the things I love about the Total Expert platform, and I love so many things about that platform, is they do a great job of putting a mortgage coach presentation at the right time, at the right place. They also do a great job of leveraging the sales boomerang alerts and putting those both with the loan officer.
I wrote that in our contract over 2.5 years ago.
Did you really?
Yeah. I'm like, hey, Total Expert, we need you to integrate with Mortgage Coach. And they're like, okay. And so, that's how you get CRMs to integrate. You got to write it in your contract.
So heads up to all you executives out there, making sure that your CRM automates with both Mortgage Coach and Boomerang, so you could have this performance platform.
Well, that was 2.5 years ago, and we put both in there.
Yeah.
And I not even knowing you guys would even come. You did at the
Well,
time.
we weren't. Yeah, we were separate companies at that time.
But we believe in both companies, back then, and we wanted to make sure that this engage part of your slide right here is not going to happen if there isn't some connection between your CRM from your technology with the rest of your enriched data to actually take action. And that was a super powerful part for us.
So loan officers, make sure you have I call it a fintech powered CRM, and I think to have the full fintech powered CRM that literally is so powerful, a realtor wants to put their database in it, it's got to have sales boomerang and mortgage coach, and then measure, just this constant measurement showing how do you show your loan officers their retention or how they're getting ROI on mortgage coach or sales boomerang.
Well, sales boomerang was really good about collecting that data for us, and then we would cross check it, right? So, trust but verify. And so we had gotten as high, I believe, as on one report, we were like 89% retention and conversion on our insights from sales boomerang. I mean,
Sweet.
The industry average is like 27 or 24%. It's not very good.
That's pretty incredible, man.
That's a killer number.
So let me ask you about something I heard you share from stage. So one of the things I've been advocating when it comes to data is to look at your cash out alerts and to go beyond just taking cash out. Like I think loan officers today need to look at, hey, there's a signal that there's debt, there's credit, but there's a signal that there's equity. So they should start bringing these cash out alerts to real estate agents. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you're getting cash for clients, what are they going to do with that cash? And they're hopefully, investing it in future real estate deals, right?
Well, you could do that. And then I think also a lot of those deals, they might be better off moving up, selling the home, using their equity and moving up.
Yeah.
And yes, loan officer, it might cost you a cash out refi, but bringing a lead to a realtor right now is a good thing to do.
Yeah. Could also, win you multiple deals from that realtor.
No doubt. So here was the thing I really wanted to pull from some things you said on stage, because a lot of folks, I think they think that the rate watch alert is dead. Now, guys, this is a season for the equity alert. So there's definitely going to be more loans that come from the equity alert. But tell me what your thoughts on this are. You said something from stage yesterday. Hey guys, the refi tsunami is done. Yeah, like the people that have loans that are under 3%, they're not refinancing them. But the future refi, it's going to be sniper rifle.
Yep.
It's going to be making sure that your entire database, what rate they have. You've got a rate watch tool so that rates will go down.
Yeah.
And then there will be sniper shots to be had.
Right.
So my thought is that rate watch feature is still as important as ever, because just telling a consumer at the point of sale, hey, I got you. I realize rates are at 5%, but I've got this rate watch feature so that as it makes sense for you to refinance, we will be there. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously the cash out tool that you were just showing us, as rates go down, if they go down, we don't know how much they will, but they could get more cash out, right? So that's impactful there. But we're in a purchase money market, and we are going to be in one for the foreseeable future. It may not feel like it's a great market because we're probably went from a $4.6 trillion a year to a, maybe half that, maybe we end up at 2.3 trillion. Still a lot of
by the way, is that your bet, like 3 trillion or 2.3 trillion for the year?
That's my bet.
That's your bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's below what most of the forecasts are at. I think there'll be a few more months of revision downward. But the purchases of today are tomorrow's refinances.
Correct.
And it may not be anything other than the purchases we do today. So, whatever, let's just use a Freddie Mac rate, for example, right? So if we're in the high fives, and if the Fed starts to decrease their rate cuts, like the next one in a couple of weeks, probably 75 basis points. But then they might not do, I don't think they're gonna do another 75 after that. They might do 50, maybe only a quarter. So that is what a Fed pivot looks like. And then you go to a pause. All right, we've squelched inflation. We're going to pause. You're going to see rates improve even there, and they don't even have to cut. But even in the future, fast forward, maybe it's a year or two before the Fed starts cutting. That doesn't mean that all the loans we just did in 20 and 21 are going to be eligible for a refinance. It's the cheapest money in history,
Right.
which is also a reason why.
How many people are under 3% in rate? I mean, I know you don't know off the top of your head, but what data do you have?
So I like the Black Knight refinance monitoring data. They look at like, can someone get a 75 basis point improvement or not, and how many borrowers are eligible for that? It's like less than 4 million. I think one read in June was like just barely over 2 million borrowers where it makes sense to refinance. So not it's the purchases we're doing now will be refinanced tomorrow. And the reason I keep saying that is because people aren't selling homes as much because they're locked in at the cheapest money in history.
Right.
Like if someone sells a home, they then got to go buy another one. Well, maybe they don't want to buy another one when the rates are higher.
Right. So
So
they're going to go from 2 point whatever or low threes to
plus the price,
5, 6.
plus the price might be higher.
Right.
So maybe it's not there. So again, when that next refi cycle comes around, really for rate and term refinances, the loans we're doing today the purchases we do today might be the only thing even eligible for a refi. That's why that rate watch tool is super important.
So I just wanted to shine a light on that. So this is turning data into dollars. Going to be looking for executives that are turning data into dollars. So final question, just to kind of net out all the ways that you are turning data into dollars and that you think loan officers should turn data into dollars. Rift on that. Just give us a checklist.
Sure.
Give a loan officer a checklist of here are the ways I think you can turn data into dollars.
I mean, go back. I mean, look at your brand reputation online, for example. Look at every review that's ever been done about you, whether it's through experience.com, formerly known as Social Survey, your Google reviews, just Google your name, see where you come up. Have you replied to every one of those reviews? Every one of those reviews on you is a data point. You could reply to them. You should be asking realtors to make a review about you and the service you give them. You should do reviews on realtors for all of your transactions. Every transaction you've ever done, look at who the real estate agent was and go give them a Google review, and then call them up and say, hey, remember that transaction? And maybe they'll call you like, wow, you're saying nice things about me and we haven't talked in 2 years. Yeah, it's cool. By the way, do you have a deal? Those are all data points, some of which you're creating out of nowhere that could yield you more deals. It is a lot of hand-to-hand combat. Product mix is another one. We're rolling out an in-house ITIN bar, so an individual tax ID number loan. We've got 3 different product lines for non-QM. We're not trying to pivot to non-QM and only be a pogo stick. We're still hugely in A-paper, Fannie Freddie, Ginnie, government stuff. But at the same time, there's great loans out there. Diversify your market. We had Tony Thompson here, the founder of NAMBA, National Association of Minority Mortgage Bankers of America, talking about ways to grow and diversify your business. Get in with college students, get them on your team, find markets, multicultural markets, help them get a leg up, close the homeownership gap, the racial homeownership gap, diversify your markets and who you speak to. You're creating business, you're creating opportunity, but you just got to have a plan and you got to act on it, and it's got to be repeatable, and you got to do it despite whatever might be going on in your mind and whatever you're hearing doom and gloom out there in the media. I don't even watch TV. Like I can't do it. I'm not gonna let some talking head play with my emotions. It ain't worth it. So just come up with a plan, act on the data, create insights, and just hammer it. It's old school blocking and tackling.
Well, guys, I have been interviewing loan officers that are turning data into dollars. And so far, the best idea I've heard is, first of all, make sure you're getting all the signals, the insights in your database. Make sure that you're delivering strategies, and call between 8 and 9 in the morning. Like, get it done, check it off the list.
Where was my
Make
call
those
this morning?
calls. Why would you?
You were supposed to call him before 9. He did a thing on stage yesterday. He collected all these numbers like through that Wisp tool. And then he's like, just get all the calls. This is cool. You're talking about Todd Buxman, and I know you have on here a lot. He's awesome. So win by noon. Win by noon.
Win by 9.
But there's some, not 6-minute abs, 7-minute abs, right? No, you had some wins by 9 to help you win even more by noon. I thought that was cool. People love that.
So Todd Buxman, we need to come up with a win by 9 club. So there's win by noon, and you got to win by 9 to win by noon. All right, brother. Any closing thoughts?
Oh man, just everyone out there, look. It is there's 50% less business now than there was a year ago, and that's okay. Everyone's fighting for loans right now. Don't let that screw with your mind. There's still an abundance of loans out there. And it may feel like you're not busy because it was so crazy the last 2 years, but that will change. The market will get back. I firmly believe that this industry will deleverage a lot of its capacity between now and February of 23. And I feel that the spring purchase season lift that you seasonally get, because we're in a normal purchase market, I think it'll start to feel really busy by February coming up. We're already hearing from some people that pipelines are starting to fill, certainly over July and August, because rates got a little bit better, right? So just keep your head up. Know that this is normal. We've been through it a lot. Sit down first rodeo, get all that negative thoughts or whatever, get it out of your head and just do repeatable actions as part of your plan and use that data and turn it into dollars.
Right on. I hope you got value, guys. Give us a like down below. Thank you very much, brother. And this is a wrap.